Oh,
but a lot of it. Anyway, we're back. Look at that, Evan. It's 187 episodes outside, and boy, am I cold.
187 episodes outside. It is 100%. Yeah, it's freezing. Life of a Teacher is pretty good. It was pretty good. We had Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, but now we have to go back to work on Thursday. And a lot of parents are upset about this too because it's going to basically be the same weather as it was this morning. So parents are like, okay, so why do we have to go back now if we didn't go back today? And it's kind of like the same scenario of like, well, the kids need school, right? It's ridiculous. It's pretty bad. It should be a cold day for students, but like a work day for teachers. That would make
Hmm.
the most sense.
Mhm.
I don't. They might transition into that. But anyways, it's cold over here in the Midwest and Nathan in the South over there. Um, but yeah, let's dive right into it because TV is heating up. I got Fallout to watch tonight. I got some anime to watch tonight, and March has some crazy new shows as well. We saw some trailers drop this past week. Um, but first things first, let's dive into Percy Jackson season 2. Pull up the graphic. There we go. This is our last time seeing the Sea of Monsters graphic that Nathan has here. We're covering up the monster part. The bottom, you can see like the sea textures and everything like that. Nathan, thoughts? What do you think of the Percy Jackson season 2 finale?
Ass. Great ass. No, this is great. This is a good. It's a good finale. We saved the final battle for last, as we do with every Disney Plus finale. But it was a good one. I was pretty edge of my seat because once again, I don't know. I haven't read this book. I didn't even see the movie when it happened.
Yeah.
So everything was new. Everything felt fresh. Everything was very exciting. It was also, I didn't expect to get a little sample of season 3 that's coming this year, so that was cool as well. I'll pick your brain on that, but yeah, I think the whole thing was very cool. I think the whole like build up to Thalia's return was very, very cool. I loved seeing the dual concern / hope of bringing Thalia back. I thought that was very intriguing. I think
Yes.
Luke and Percy fucking hate each other so much, and you can see it in their eyes when they fought. And then I got really shocked when Annabeth got stabbed with the arrow because I was like, "Oh, that went deep," and they already almost killed her like halfway in the season. So, like, I don't know where things are going. I'm scared.
Yeah, that part was crazy, and I'm really glad you picked up on a few things, like the whole dual concern and like excitement, but concern from Percy, excitement from Annabeth. We don't see Luke's perspective. I would have loved to see Luke's reaction because Luke was really fighting to get Thalia back as well this episode, oddly enough. Not oddly enough, it made sense. He loves Thalia, but like everybody else on Team Kronos, as Grover calls them, the cronies, they wanted that tree gone. They whatever. That's mostly Allison stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on the dual concern and stuff. It's an interesting tension. I've been wanting to say this all season, Nathan. Are you surprised that Thalia is back in this finale or not? Like, what was did you think she's going to come back in this finale? How do you like the execution of her return? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did expect her to return. I don't think I was about to see camp go under so soon.
Yeah.
That's probably like a book 4 situation, if I were to guess. But yeah, I think just like the inherent memory of Percy's vision and that fear he has, I think it had to come to fruition in some capacity, and it almost like one for one does in a sense by like the final scene. Very intriguing. But yeah, I did expect her return and especially a connection with Annabeth, but I think I was also expecting Luke's response to that as well.
Yeah, and that's interesting because in the books, people were worried because in the books, Thalia's return is like the last chapter. Percy wakes up. They put the fleece on it the chapter beforehand, and nothing happens. But then, like, Percy wakes up and he realizes like there's commotion at camp. And then it's like hours later, then Thalia arrives. Like the fleece had a delayed effect in the books, and then the last page is like, I see Thalia at the bottom of this tree, and I know my life's about to change, or something along those lines. People love that cliffhanger because, like, oh shit, Thalia's back. I actually like what the show did more. The show has been building up way more to Thalia's return, more so than even the books. Because once again, we've had that Thalia, Luke, Annabeth backstory flashback that was so pivotal to this season. Because this is what's driving Annabeth. It's what's driving Luke, or what drove Luke to turn to the bad side, to the dark side. And with the prophecy at hand, at 16, you can either save Olympus or be its downfall or whatever. That's been weighing over Percy. And to have that whole arc of Percy come into like, oh, wait, this could actually mean Thalia. But now is Thalia going to help us, or is she going to be on Luke's side? It creates a lot of, like, as you said, dual intrigue going into season 3. So I love the build up there. I like that they didn't just like, hey, Thalia's back, credits. No, Thalia's back. Then we got an additional scene where she comes in the rain and they talk about her. She puts her hand over Annabeth, and Percy has to like stand up on his tippy toes, chest out. That was very funny. So that's very, very, very intriguing. But also the big part was the Thalia and Zeus flashback. Which is surprisingly, idiots online. I don't want to call everybody idiots, but like people don't like this flashback that is, again, show only. They don't like it because it paints Zeus in too bad of a bad light. And to that, I have to say, this is the Fuck Zeus podcast. Like, we all say Luke's doing everything for the wrong reason, blah, blah, blah. Kronos is bad, blah, blah, blah. We know that. But the gods aren't great. They're just not. We abide by Poseidon. And there's a lot of people who say fuck Poseidon too. But, like, we abide by Poseidon because he's just cool. He still, like, isn't the best father in the world.
Fuck Poseidon, but he's doing better.
He's doing better than, like, the rest. Definitely better than Athena, oof. Athena confirmed to be in season 3. We know that for sure. We have Athena. Zeus is in season 3. Athena's in season 3. Poseidon will return in season 3. We'll see a lot. Yeah.
You imagine casting Athena for like that one dream sequence this season. It's like, all right, we'll see you in season 5.
Yeah, right. See you never. Andrea Day will return. And then they cast Aphrodite, which was hit with a lot of controversy online because they casted Kate McKinnon for Aphrodite. But like, what has to be said about Aphrodite, and it was in the Hollywood Reporter reports, is that like in the Titan's Curse, like when people meet Aphrodite, she takes on the form of the people that like you like, or like how do I phrase this? Like, what you think of beautiful is what Aphrodite is to you, right? Okay. So my version, when I look at Aphrodite, I'm seeing something completely different from Nathan, who
we could be seeing the same person.
Taste in girls, you don't know like that. Exactly.
No, we lost. Come back. No, I'm sorry. We fine. We see different. We definitely see different people. I'm in a relationship, so I see that person. But that is to say, Evan does make a great point, and I think that is one of the coolest story decisions. Often when like somebody sees one thing and another person sees another, all presenting in the one being. I love that a lot. Or it could also be like objects as well. Very cool. He's coming back. It's loading.
Oh, my face is still frozen. No, I'm good now. I'm back.
All right.
StreamYard hates my connection to Florida, I guess. It's always happening.
We thirsted too close to the sun.
We did. But yeah, so like the Aphrodite thing is interesting. But yeah, we'll see a lot more Olympus. I think I haven't reread a Titan's Curse in a long time, but I think we'll see Apollo as well.
Creed.
Apollo Creed, exactly. Um,
Who
but
would you? What god would you cast Michael B. Jordan as?
that's a great question. Michael B. Jordan would make for a great. He would have been a cool Hades. That'd been funny. Uh,
Mm,
um, I don't know. Michael B. Jordan would be cool. Like if they want to switch it around and do like the Roman, who'd be like younger, but like the Roman version of Zeus would be interesting. If they want to go
okay.
for, I am curious to see when we get to like the Roman stories post season 5, like in 2030 something or whatever. If they'll cast different actors for the Roman version of the gods, like
Mm,
who's going to play Mars, who is the version of Ares, who's going to play
yeah.
Neptune, who's the version of Poseidon, who's going to play Jupiter, who is Zeus. Like it's going to be interesting. Um,
Michael B. Jordan can be Odysseus.
that would be awesome. That'd be really cool. But yeah, so the whole Thalia return and the flapjack was wild. Because that was easily my favorite part of the finale. Because also it's fuck Chiron night too. Chiron, luckily, he came in, he told us the truth, which is brownie points there. But and he was willing, as we saw in the flashback, he's willing to help out Thalia against the Furies. And this is wild because the Furies walk up to Thalia. They don't aggressively attack her, which some people took note of last week. I didn't catch it. But it is interesting that the Furies, and this is what the show is telling us here, they were led by Hades, who has caught wind of Thalia, who, again, Thalia is bad for not just Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, but like all the gods, because, if a demigod of the big three turns 16, bad things can happen. But he decides to tell Thalia about the prophecy via the Furies. The Furies are in the middle telling Thalia the prophecy. Zeus shoots them with lightning, dismantles them, and says, hey, hey, daughter of mine, worst father ever. Hey, join my army, please, and leave all your friends behind, basically.
Yeah.
She's like, I thought this was, what was the line? It was like, you know, Dahlia tells Zeus, like, oh, they want me on the right side of this prophecy. And he's like, it's all lies. And then later on, he's like, I need you to fight with me as, you're about to be 16 of age. And she clocks him like, wait a minute. I thought this was all lies. What's going on? Like, I love her reaction. I love her cadence. Like, she exudes so much power, even amongst, like, the most powerful of gods. I loved it so much. Because she clocks like, hey, I thought this was all lies, but you still need me? Like, what's truth? What's lies? What are you not telling me? But then she, very immature of her, she's like, I'm just going to pick up Annabeth and Luke and we're going to be gone. I'm not going to be part of your army. I'm not going to be part of your thing here. Also, interestingly enough, she's like, or Zeus is like, you can stay here at camp and, grow your powers basically. And it paints the camp in a different light too, as a very much Zeus, not Zeus centric, but like Zeus overpowering, like trying to strengthen up the powers of the demigods for Zeus's own ends. Which is why, again, Thalia's like, I'm just gonna get my friends and leave. This place is not good for us. And he says, don't walk away from me, which was crazy. Then she's in the middle of saying her speech and never, and then blank turns her into a tree. It's just a quick like zoom. It's so like horrifying. It's like, oh my god, she wasn't even injured at all. Just turned into a tree. That's fucked. That's wild.
Even more fucked when you realize, by like present day, she was effectively like in stasis. No real consciousness. Was just frozen in time, unaware, but like also still horrifying that you were put on pause.
For sure. And then she immediately, like, we see what she would have done to Zeus, which is like a straight AoE lightning attack. Attacks everybody around them, especially Percy. Percy gets knocked out as she gets knocked out. I love, again, their parallel journeys, their parallel knockouts there. It was
I was
crazy.
wondering how they do those shots where like they do like the quick like turn over like
Yeah.
that. I know that camera's heavy as fuck. It's got to be like a good rig.
Walker was going through it this episode with the Thalia hit, the Luke stuff.
Oh my god, Luke was beating the shit out of Percy. Oh my god, I did not like he kept getting hit again and again. It was bleeding. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I was losing it. What I love about the fight is that Percy tried to do the same disarming move that Luke did to him last week on the Princess Andromeda, where he backs up, grabs Luke's hand, and doesn't cut off his hand, just hits the sword away from Luke. It works. Yeah. Luke's like, okay, cool, let's box. And he starts pounding on Percy. Dude, I was losing my mind. I was like, oh shit. Like,
I'm such a sucker for when fucking like, you know, weaponry that clashes.
Yeah.
Duels turn into melees.
Me too. Every single time. Like, okay, you know what? Weapons aside, let's box. Let's have a fist fight. Let's see what happens. And yeah, Luke is 2 or 3 years older than Percy. He got some weight on him. It was a wrap for Percy. I was going, shit.
Man. Yeah. It's always so cool to see. Not to be like a, you know, Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars, but like it is great seeing the Mustafar duel and then Anakin's just throwing punches. It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's the last we see of Luke. But yeah, going back to the Thalia thing, when they wake up, what's so fascinating leading into season 3 and everything like that is that this whole season, Annabeth has had this positive vision of Thalia. In episode 2, she's like sitting by the tree, talking to Thalia, trying to decide like what to do. She just got hit in episode 2, at least, with Chiron telling her that like, you can't tell Percy what he cannot know. And she's like, what do I do? Like she's always envisioned Thalia as alive and like sentient enough to like, you know, lend an ear to, but also as a positive figure who will be on Annabeth's side. This is different from Luke, who believes that when she wakes up, she's going to be on my side, the Kronos side. Because what does she have at camp? It's Annabeth. Annabeth is the reason. And what makes it so fascinating is that, like, Annabeth is the tether to a lot of different characters in just the narrative of Percy Jackson from book 1 to book 5, everybody. What's keeping Thalia? What could keep Thalia on the side of the heroes? You know, the Percy Annabeth Grover side. It's Annabeth. Like, Annabeth's going to be she has no relationship to Percy. She kind of likes Grover, you know. She just met Grover before we saw her. And then Annabeth, though, is the one, like, she's a big motherly older sister figure, too. So, yeah. And then for Luke, you know, they were, like, you know, basically boyfriend, girlfriend. They were surviving for a long time together. So Luke has, like, that kinship with Thalia. But, yeah, Annabeth is the one kind of, like, pulling Thalia in. But also, she has every reason to side with Luke. So it's going to make every decision in season 3 very interesting. What does she decide? What's going to be her? Because there's an A choice with Zeus, the B choice with Kronos. Is there a third option for Thalia going into season 3? And whose side will she fall on? It's very fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's very fascinating. It makes it very worrisome because, you know, Annabeth's going to be riding for Camp and her friends. And, you know, shout out the Acolyte. I'm afraid there's going to be like a Osha May situation of like, oh, they brainwashed you. Like, no, please wait.
That's an amazing comparison because that hit hard in the Acolyte. Shout out to the Acolyte. We love you, the Acolyte. We knew the Acolyte. Yeah, like that's a great comparison. Episode 6 of it's 5. It's 5. I keep saying 6. It's 5 of the Acolyte where May and Osha have that brawl. Where it's just like, hey, they brainwashed you. And that hug and the awkward hug. I love that shit. We should do a second commentary of the Acolyte. Like a 2026 commentary of the Acolyte. We love that
Keep it alive.
It's still on Disney Plus, right? They didn't fucking remove it like Willow?
Yes, it exists. I won't let them.
That would be...
I will run pirate link after pirate. I don't care. I'll do it. If you try to erase it, I'll do it.
That was crazy. But either way, yeah, it's a great comparison because, like, yeah, as I said, the camp acts as like a big stepping point for demigods for Mount Olympus. You're doing this for, getting to be on a quest, as we heard from the beginning of the season, and season one. Like, the glory of being on a quest is to like pay homage to the gods above, to like, Zeus and everybody like that. Like, hey, I get to be on a quest. I get to do rewards for the camp, for my home, but also for the glory of the gods. Dahlia doesn't give a shit about the glory of the gods. She doesn't give a shit about camp. She gives a shit about Annabeth. So again, that's going to be an interesting mother-daughter relationship heading into season 3. But yeah, there was a whole discussion. I was reading a thread about like, why did Hades say this in the first place? Why did he want to warn Thalia? It's very funny. But yeah, we have a child of Zeus and we have a child of Poseidon, and they look like they're going to clash here because Percy doesn't. He asked Annabeth, I think, earlier in the episode, like, can we trust Thalia? Because Luke is pretty much set on trusting Thalia. They overhear, with the help of Tyson, as the cronies are about to go on the hill, that, hey, our objective is to take over camp. But if that fails, getting a child of prophecy, Thalia, is just as good. That's from Luke's perspective. Allison, we see, disagrees when she magically carries an axe and she's like, let's start hacking this tree once the battle turned up against them. Yeah, every time. People thought, it was very funny, people thought that when Percy hands over the fleece to Clarice is tying a spear to the fleece. People thought that when she throws it was going to stab Allison and kill her.
Good.
That would have been crazy. But no, Allison is confirmed to be on season 3. Dior, the actress who plays Clarice, mentioned how it's a very women. I watched a 90-minute podcast with Dior yesterday while I was shoveling snow. And she highlighted how excited she is for season 3. Clarice won't be as big of a character in season 3. To be honest, I don't think she's like even in season 3 in the books, or like book 3 in the book. I think she's mentioned. Something happened with Clarice, nothing bad, but like something happens with Clarice which takes her out of the picture for book 3. But we already saw like early set videos of Clarice being on set, like day 1 of filming. So they're adding stuff for Clarice to be there, show-wise, which I think is nice because after this season, everybody's a huge fan of Clarice and Dior.
Does every book begin with, hey, we need a quest? Go see the Oracle.
Yeah. It's funny. I think the showrunners are like, yeah, every season we're going to get the somebody different going to see the Oracle. So season 1, it was Percy. Season 2, it was Clarice. Who's going to be receiving the Oracle in season 3? Is it going to be Thalia? Like who can it be? I honestly forget. I don't think it's Percy. We haven't seen Annabeth do it, so it could be Annabeth. You never really know.
It's one of the main gods. That'd be wild.
So that's very funny. But yeah, what was I saying? What else happened in this finale real quick? What do we see here? I love the Sally Percy goodbye at the beginning of this episode. That was very sweet.
Yeah.
Because she did die in front of his eyes around that same area. She died to a Minotaur. He's the one that happened to her again. But I love seeing Sally in this show, and she's always just a benevolent, sweet mother figure to Percy, and she understood. She was like, you know what, I get it. We will get more of Sally in season 3, by the way, confirmed.
She's great.
She's always great. I love the sequence where they were shooting arrows into the fog at the beginning. That was pretty dope. That was a great shot.
By the way, actor plays Tyson.
Fantastic scene with him, right?
Oh yeah, fantastic. But like
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel. It's so funny. So you would expect like people getting used to the look of a Cyclops. There could be a little uncanniness at first when like experiencing that. I'm so used to only seeing him. I've never seen the actor normal, so I was so used to the one eye. So when I saw his face for real, I was like, something's wrong. Something's
Um,
something's off. You like now I'm uncanny to the real man. It's crazy, but he's great too. I was watching hilarious BTS clip for this season where they were fitting Grover for the wedding dress.
oh yeah,
And the cast were all having like a really good time about it. It was very funny.
that's really fun. You should watch this Netflix movie, The Half of It.
Hmm.
It's adorable coming of age lesbian romance story. Um, it's really really sweet. And Daniel plays like the main character's best friend.
Oh,
And he acts just like Tyson, like that. Not just like not aloof as Tyson, but just like just
yeah,
a reliable, friendly, always friendly character. I was like, I could see why if you watch that like series or that movie. I mean, you're like, okay,
yeah,
I need this guy to be Tyson. He's just a very sweet actor. I was watching a clip of The Half of It recently, and I'm like, oh wow, that is him.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, he's really good, and yeah, I've seen that video too of with him trying on the everybody else trying on the dresses and stuff like that. And he's really good
yeah,
in interviews too. Like, I can't wait to see more of Daniel. But yeah, that reminds me that me and Daniel like almost tearing up at that Tyson goodbye sequence
yeah,
scene. I mean, between him, Poseidon, and Percy in like this dream scenario after Percy is knocked out. Um, you know, Poseidon tells Tyson like, "Hey, we for the wars to come." He says Titans are walking loose now, and I'm like, "Hey, yo, like, is it that bad right now? The Titans are walking out. What's happening? What's going on with all these Titans?" We'll get to that in season 3. But the Tyson stuff was like big because he's like the Titans are coming out. It's getting crazy. We need you in like the Hephaestus forges. If people don't know, Hephaestus is a god of like metals, craftsmanship, creating gear, all that kind of stuff, creating stuff. So they
yeah,
need Tyson because he can handle forges, as we saw on the submarine or
yeah.
the ship. So
And
that's going to be yeah.
he doesn't even hesitate to say yes to Poseidon. But I also love so much of that moment where he feels so grateful to Poseidon, not necessarily for like being around to like recognize him. I thought it was gonna be like recognizing him as a son in camp. I
Me
thought
too.
that the moment, but the fact that Percy exists at all because of him, and he's so grateful to have Percy, and is like, oh my god, can I cry more?
Dude, dude. Me and Jen were like, oh shit, like that hurt, like that hit, like
And your
um
brother,
that was such a sweet line. It was like he gave me a brother. Like he said it so earnestly. It reminded me of like the Iron Claw type shit. Like it was
yeah.
so
Oh,
earnest. I was like,
so
oh
Iron
my
Claw in my
god.
heart. Damn.
I'm sorry for all the
Uh,
Iron Claw sobbers out there. That movie
I'm
hits deep.
I'm watching Tyson well up, and 90% of me, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. And the other 10%, I was like, there, the tear ducts work on one eye. So it was also,
But yeah, it was such a sweet line, and Tyson was a scene stealer throughout all of season 5. Or sorry,
yeah,
season 2. The way he helped out Percy consistently, a great older brother, younger brother figure for Percy. Took out Polyphemus in a very crazy scenario.
yeah,
And took out Luke when Luke was about to kill Percy here. He's just constantly reliable, very sweet, always kind to Percy, to Sally, to all of Percy's friends. It was great. And the way Daniel just embodies that character with such nuance was amazing. Great character, great character. We also say goodbye to Tantalus. Tantalus is dead and gone. That was wild.
oh,
One cannonball to the face from to the fire, gone, just like that.
good,
Yeah, wasn't the best leader. I don't think he comes back in this series, but he he
hilarious,
he is sent
hilarious
back
that
to what?
hilarious that he realizes, oh my god, my curse isn't
Oh
in
yeah,
effect right now. Oh, all right, awesome, it's a new day. Bam, he didn't even get a bite.
didn't get a bite. That's wild. And now
I would have wasted no time.
I think he's sent back to like that same like the fields of whatever. Did he get
Elysium?
Yeah, to get or the opposite of that, to get eternally
Oh,
punished. So yeah, back to his punishment for him. Um,
well, I
but yeah,
forget. I always forget the name of our boy at the other camp director.
oh, Mr.
The
D,
Mr. D. Yeah, that man's gonna be drunk as hell.
drunk as hell. Well, also what I liked about the Mr. D scene, right? We come into him, Tantalus is gone. The kids arrest Percy. They go into camp, and they see Mr. D here, and he's singing like the great, 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 great song to the little
Yeah,
kids. What I liked the subtlety there was that like, okay, he tells Percy like flat out, he like this is a demigod thing. I can't help out in this battle. Which A could just legitimately be true. Like gods legit can't interfere in like the squabbling of demigods because like you don't see Ares on the field, you don't see Athena on the field. Like this is just a petty squabble on the hill of camp. Gods can't get involved. I think I would take him for his word there. But B, I do like that he's like low key keeping the kids safe. You see, he's singing the songs to like the younger kids at camp, kind of keeping
yeah,
them away from the battle at hand, which was kind of like low key, kind of sweet. I kind of like that little bit there where Dionysus comes off as like this very, he can be a dick sometimes, but he's very funny. Doesn't take things too seriously. He's like very hands off, but also like he is a god. There are some children of Dionysus, Mr. D, at camp, and he is taking care of the younger ones while all the chaos is happening outside. Um, so that was really cool. Um,
mm,
what else do we see here? Um, I already talked about the interesting conflict there between Luke and Allison, where Allison really wants to destroy the tree, but Luke believes Dahlia can be freed and will help them destroy Olympus. Um, one of the major things here was the reveal, or I don't know, was this surprising to you, Nathan, about the traders at camp? Not everybody at camp can be trusted. Were you surprised about this and about the Chris Rodriguez trader reveal? What were your thoughts there?
I think I didn't anticipate it because I didn't spend a lot of time with him. He's like
Yeah.
teed up as like the proposed guy to come on Clarice's quest at the beginning, and then we really just never come back to him until here. So I think when he was back, I was just like, okay, yeah, forces are thinning, we got a lot going on. But then when he starts being like, I think we have a traitor. Like, what? And then
Why did
instantly
you
he's like,
say that?
I'm the traitor. And like within 30 seconds, he's like, I'm the traitor. Give me the police.
I'm like, you could just surprise Clarice and been like, stab. And Clarice would have like, would have.
Especially since like 99% of the group, why did you have one outlier? Everybody else in the group, other than the girl he accused, was
Yeah.
in on it. You could just stab both.
Can we talk about that? Like, they just stab the girl. I think her name was Katie. They just stab her. And I'm like, oh, wait, yo, like, is she dead? Like, what the fuck? Like, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
see, I was seeing stuff like that. Like, I was seeing the stabbings. Annabeth took a fucking arrow to almost heart. I'm like, God, like, that was the thing. Is like, I'm seeing this here. I can only imagine how much more brutal, like, Last Olympian is.
Yeah. Shit's going to get crazy. Because I was trying to just took out Katie right in front of Clarice. Like, oh, shit. And then they were about to, they stomped on her arm. They were about to kill Clarice herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Chris part is very interesting because Clarice has like Chris doesn't turn bad this early, I think, in the books.
Mm.
So that's a new development. We see Chris as a love interest for Clarice, but there is somebody else which fans really want to see show up in the show. That character, I don't want to say who it is, but that character was revealed in book 2 for like a line or two in the book, but people still wanted to see them.
So not
But yeah,
Clarice and Grove.
no, sorry. I do like a Clarice and Grover just like both like, yeah, what happens in the cave stays in the cave.
Wow.
Don't mention the cave. It was just very funny. But yeah, so maybe we see that character in season 3 or definitely season 4. Cause I think book 4 is when the Chris Rodriguez traitor thing actually happened, I think. But it happened now. And that's very interesting. Book 4 is also one of my favorite books, The Battle of the Labyrinth. hence we get another big battle in that season too. Um, um, which was funny because people were like, "We get a battle in Battle of the Labyrinth. Does that diminish the battle at camp here?" And the showrunners were made sure to say like, there will be many battles to come, and this is like an early skirmish because it only took place on the hill, Thalia's hill, and there'll be more battles to come. So they didn't waste their battles in one season.
Still fairly sizable.
Exactly, it was still fairly sizable. I did like a lot of the like aggression and like the chaos happening at camp. But yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, when Percy's talking to Annabeth about like disagreeing about Thalia, he said you wouldn't understand what it's like, having to pick a side or whatever. And I'm like, is Percy comparing like Thalia's decision whether she sides with Luke or Annabeth as him deciding whether to side with the quest or save Annabeth, like with the whole fleece scenario where he decided to save Annabeth versus save the fleece in episode 6. That could be what he was talking about there. That was an interesting phrasing of words. But yeah, Percy doesn't know, and even Annabeth doesn't know what side Thalia is going to be on. The only thing we know for sure is that Thalia loves Annabeth. I did love the Percy speech, by the way. It gives a very big, hero speech. It kind of embodies what this season has been all about. We take care of our own. We stand up for each other, for our home, which is very big. Percy really coming to his own as like, hey, camp is home. We stand up for each other. We stand up not just for like, and we mentioned it like a podcast or two ago, but the power of friendship really is the moral of the story for this season and for the series at large. And for Percy to understand that slowly but surely, one of Percy's arcs this season is getting closer with Clarice and getting to understand her. Like, when he says like stand up for each other, Percy has to realize it's not just him, Grover, or Annabeth. Percy has to branch out and have more friends outside of that, including Clarice. And hopefully Percy can remember this speech when he comes into contact with Thalia, like stand up for each other, all demigods. And even Luke, that's going to be a thing going on until the very end of the series. Like, he doesn't give Luke a second of complexity, nuance, discussion. He's just like, Luke can't be trusted. We got to kill Luke. We got to do this. Like, Annabeth has always been like, maybe Luke can change when Thalia comes back. Maybe Luke can be on our side if Thalia comes back. Maybe Luke can do this. Percy, ever since he got betrayed by Luke in season 1, has always been like, we cannot trust Luke. Percy needs to have like a more mature discussion. And audiences, we know we've seen more of Luke than what Percy has seen already in just season 2. So that'd be his dynamic with Luke would be very interesting moving forward. The Annabeth Luke stuff is very interesting going into season 3. But that seems to be most of my notes. There are some couple of things, but yeah, very fun finale. I love seeing the dance sequence from season 3. I guess I assume that's like they recently, because I remember it was like Walker's birthday in December, and he like posted on Instagram, or I think Leah, who plays Annabeth, posted on Instagram like they were practicing the dance sequences for the dance scene on Instagram, and it was crazy to just get a shot here. I was going crazy.
Yeah, it just happened like randomly. They were dressed to the nines at this dance, and I sat forward so quick. I was like, why are you both so much taller? I was like, what happened? Hold on, wait, where are we? Is this the next season?
Season 3 coming this year. I predicted another like December release date. I would hopefully like a November release date just to get a little bit earlier. But December at the latest, which is just insane, which means we can get a trailer by Comic-Con in July, and then a bigger trailer in the fall. Because I think the first season 2 like teaser was like in July or August, something like that. D20 is D23 this year? I think it is.
Maybe.
Which is massive as a Kingdom Hearts fan. Kingdom Hearts always shows up at D23 gaming. So I'm always looking forward to that. You said what?
Is CinemaCon just for movies?
CinemaCon is just for movies. Yeah, just for cinemas, theatrical movies. So no Netflix shit. Even though the Warner Brothers panel is going to be very interesting. But yeah, that's about it for Percy Jackson season 2. I cannot wait for season 3. Once again, people forget we do have Daphne Keene who plays
Oh,
X-23 and other amazing roles. She will be a main character in season 3. She's playing Artemis, the god of the hunt,
who's
goddess
Parsival?
of the hunt. I think. What?
Who's playing Parsival?
Who's possible?
It's a Ready Player One reference.
Oh, I don't know that shit. I have the Blu-ray. I've watched that movie one time.
Just do a rewatch, and you can feel how Doomsday will feel.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say how like Disclosure Day would feel.
Maybe no, it's not nowhere close. I think that's
Nowhere
probably close to Minority Report, which I still need to watch.
for sure. Well, we could do a commentary on Minority Report. I love that movie. What was I gonna say though? But yeah, we have Daphne Keene plays Artemis. Her hunters will be in season 3. That's very exciting. It's kind of like the main newest characters. I already said Aphrodite. Also, we have a new villain in town played by my guy Holt McKinley. Playing one of the Poseidon talked about like Titans roaming free. One of the main season 3 is a darker season because of this antagonist. So I'm very, very excited because season 2 was like Luke was like the main antagonist. Polyphemus kind of like a side antagonist, but season 3 onward is going to have like central Titans and bad stuff happening. It's a darker season, so get ready. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's like I forget the order of books, but Last Olympian I love, but like Titan's Curse and Battle of the Labyrinth 3 through 5, it just had a different. It's like that Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban onwards experience. Like the order, people start dropping. It gets crazy. It's cold. It's wintry. It's a wintry season. So
that's my son. It's my boy.
My boy.
That's my god.
But moving on, we had a Daredevil season 2 trailer, Nathan.
We did. We did.
I tweeted out like this wasn't my favorite like teaser trailer that Daredevil has done. There's not much to glean here. It's definitely a teaser trailer, but we do see the return of a lot of characters that we've come to love or just at least enjoy from season 1.
Evan,
the plot is pretty still thin, but yeah.
I will now give you a 22-minute breakdown of the entire plot of season 1 or season 2 for this trailer. No, it won't. No,
nice.
But
I mean, yeah,
I like it. I like it quite a bit. I think it's fun. I really like the music editing. I like that they're keeping the aspect ratio changed to Matt's senses. In season 1, it was a more like expansive frame when he was listening out, but when what his hearing was being damaged and affected in the teaser, it was like cramming into a 4:3, very like isolating containment. Very cool to see that. Otherwise, yeah, it's a lot of like quick cuts of things, a lot of cool features of everybody from season 1, but also good highlights for Dex and Fisk as well. A lot of the spotlights of the task force taking the Punisher's logo, which is not great, and also it just makes me think about ICE right now, and that's terrible. I think you're muted right now.
Sorry, I said fuck ICE.
Fuck ICE, but sponsored by Fuck ICE.
It's very timely. It's insanely timely. I mean, like, the fascist regimes will always be timely, I guess, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I did like that. Like, it is continuing off. I think it might be just like weeks or months after season 1 where we're getting this is task force up to no good here, and Matt needs a team. And everyone was laughing on the end of season 1 where Matt's like, I need a team, and he's like in a bar with like some nobodies.
That's how it goes. And if that isn't Daredevil comics, I don't know what is.
You're 1,000% correct there. Yeah. But Jessica Jones is the scene stealer, the highlight of the trailer. She is back. It looks like she walks into a church. I'm surprised she wasn't struck by lightning. But we see her in a church, basically saying, time to get to work, basically, in all her Jessica isms. I cannot wait to see her again. Like Kristen is so good as this character.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm excited that it seems like we're going to be getting back to the Matt and Karen relationship, which is great. Just stick with the best characters that have the best dynamic, for sure.
Some people are upset about this, Nathan. I saw some people on
Oh,
Twitter.
wait, that's
I
right.
know.
I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with the Karen and Frank game
Yeah, exactly.
as much as I need to be. You're right. You're right. You know what? I will give you that. Yeah, do that one. Do that for
We talked about it ad nauseum in the season 1 finale. Go watch our podcast about that, where we're like, what do we supposed to feel here? But I do love the Matt Karen relationship. They have a very heartwarming relationship. But for me, I'm always going to choose Matt and Elektra. That's my shit. It's toxic. It's cute. It's sexy. It's all the things I like about like all that shit. Like I
can
love them.
fix her.
Right. I can fix her. I can fix him. Like Daredevil's just as messy as Elektra. It's great. I really want her back on my TV screen.
I think they want to. There seems to be interesting things moving in a lot of like the different defenders. Where Mike Coulter recently said he had talks with Marvel recently that like everything's on the table again for possibilities of return, and the fact that he is having conversations, I think, is a good sign. I think it's no coincidence that we're getting Kristen Ritter back in full in the role. Like I don't think they're going to just stop there.
I agree. I think Luke Cage is definitely a possibility. Say what you want about Iron Fist, but I think he'll show up. Whether it's Finn Jones or not, I think Iron Fist will return. We need to have fucking his best friend, Jessica Henwick. Where has she been in my life? She was in The Matrix, disappeared after that. She's great in The Matrix, but yeah.
She's in Glass Onion.
She is in Glass Onion. She was great there. But yeah, I really need to see her on my TV or cinema screen again. But yeah, I really think Mike Coulter can really show up because I think we need a Mike Coulter Jessica Jones romance, and just that would be amazing to happen on screen.
Totally,
let's make it like a low scale Marvel show in the tone of like Wonder Man. I'm halfway through Wonder Man. I'm loving the low stakes sense of that show. It feels so natural. I'm like, Marvel, you're cooking. Like it reminds me of like 8 episodes of episodes 1 and 2 of Miss Marvel. And I love Miss Marvel as a whole. It's one of my favorite shows. I like it more than Loki season 2, guys.
Yeah, you are very
and Loki season 2 finale is not good. It's not good. It's not good. But I know
it's not the end.
Down my face in Doomsday. What's that?
It's good if it's not the end. Because if it's the end, it's sad. It's my K-pop Demon Hunters thing. Remember, I was like, I like this until Jinu died. But if we're getting a sequel, I think doors open.
If Jinu's not back in that sequel, cancel Christmas.
If I anticipate 4 years of Jinu's return, I don't get it. That's going to be soul crushing and also embarrassing. I'm going to be in my 30s.
Unless they introduce like a hot woman villain and then she also falls in love with Rumi, like, I can be persuaded.
When's that Polytrix coming up?
Just go to AO3 for all that shit.
Right.
I have been getting back in the fanfic game, by the way. Anyways, what's it called? Mike Coulter, Jessica Jones. I really can't wait to see like how pivotal she is to the season. Do you think she's going to be in all the episodes or just show up in episode 3 onwards? Like, what do you think?
Was the average of, is it 12 episodes?
I thought it was 9.
9? Okay, I don't. I think she'll be in at least 3. I think 3 is the safest. 5 max, and that's generous.
Okay. Well, I thought she'd be in it like for the long haul, like a main character. But yeah. However much time we get with Jessica, I'll savor it. But yeah, as you said, we get a lot of Matt and Karen. The relationship seems to be blossoming. The new suit, thoughts? I love it. Black on red, great. Or red
really good. No, yeah, absolutely, really great. I am like, it is so funny that like we're finally getting to that, but then it's still not just like the red on red. It's still not 100% the
Yeah.
suit. But I'm sure that's next up. That'll be in Doomsday. Uh,
His black suit is my favorite. Like the Charles Soule black costume with like the red highlights. Like that's my favorite Daredevil version.
it does look really great.
I don't need the all red like Kevin Smith version or the classic version. Like I'm good on the black version. I like that shit.
Right on. I mean, it does look really good, and I'm excited to see it in action as well. I think it pops even more on screen than what we saw for the set photos that came out, which I think is like always the case, but it just looks really good on screen.
Agreed, and it looks really good on a poster. Daredevil never fucking misses with those posters, bro. That poster is sexy as hell.
They're so good. I think that was some of the best stuff they did in season 2 for the posters. They did a lot of great like those biblical painting.
I remember that. Posters. Oh my god!
Yeah, like that Frank holding the skull. You had Karen over the desk with the skull on it as well. And,
oh my god!
I think Matt was like fucking like when he was like chained to the rooftop. It was a mirror, like so all these things so good.
Man, the hype didn't get to season 2, dog. Like 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime. Like oh shit! Like chills. That was everywhere, man. That was my shit. But yeah, like one of the most interesting things to follow all throughout season 1, despite how messy that season is, was the Wilson Fisk dynamic, or just not dynamic, but just his arc in general. It started to come into place towards the back half of the season once the writers changed, and we got a really big focus on like Fisk and his like internal dilemmas here, like. Why did he even want to become mayor? What's been going on in his psyche? And we're trying to dive into that towards the end of the season. And I'm curious to see where he goes. He now has a closer knit of a close knit group of people, like the the young kid is sticking around. I really like him. He's sticking around. He has like the British low key guy as well. There, I forget his name. We also learn we see in this trailer Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hates Heather. She's not very well written in season 1. She is back in season 2, and she's like a psychiatrist, right? So we see her interviewing somebody. We don't know who. I think that's all we see of Heather. But yeah, they could have just killed her off, to be honest. But whatever.
I think they'll know a better way to use her and write her better here without the mess of Overhaul.
Also, do you think the running joke of Matt's lawyer firm only being characters in that lawyer firm, he never saw them outside of said lawyer firm? Well, that was so bad.
Hey, we saw Cherry in the bar.
Oh man!
No. Let the record show. Cherry does get around the city. What's her name in the department? Does not. She does not leave those walls.
No idea what her name is. Cherry. What the fuck was Cherry? Was Cherry the one with the BS speech in like the penultimate episode or the finale? Who was like, trying to talk down Matt from being Daredevil or something? Like, you don't know Matt? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, that was weird.
Cherry's like a reluctant Jim Gordon. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a reluctant Jim Gordon. Like, no, just lock all the way in, Cherry. Come on. But I don't even know if Cherry's in this season. I didn't see him, but I wonder if he is. Probably. What else? The whole shot of Fisk like boxing somebody. I don't know what that means, but it looks fun. He's getting fit.
Yeah. The mayor is boxing somebody. Right on. I also like the flash-ins. It looks like somebody's like hijacking airwaves in like an anonymous style, dressed as Fisk with a little name tag that says Mayor Fisk. Probably to like expose his true nature. I think that'll be an interesting angle to explore in this season.
For sure. Matthew Lillard is officially in the cast as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah. As Cletus Cassidy, who would have thought? Finally.
Yeah, you ready for some carnage? Don't know who she'll be playing.
Oh man. He that's one of those fan casts that would have been so cool to see. I don't know how the hell he would have pulled off Carnage in like circa the 90s, but like he would have done phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what else we see. Yeah, so he plays Mr. Charles in Daredevil Born Again season 2. we see Bullseye. What do you think about Bullseye's return here in season 2? How big of a factor do you think he can play in this season?
I think he'll be a big factor because he's not only a fan favorite, but he's just like maybe truly the deadliest ground level person in the MCU. He's so terrifying, Evan. Like when he just locks in, it's scary. Anything is lethal.
Anything is fair game for him.
He can break his tooth and spit it at a projectile speed that is deadly. God damn it! Like I know that's the superhuman bit of this comics, but like my God.
Yeah, it's so goofy, but like dangerously, brutally goofy in his execution. Like it's so wild. I cannot wait to see that. What's going to go on there? What else? We see a first look at Foggy Nelson in Born Again season 2. Yeah. Another flashback.
Probably, but also I keep the door open for the idea of his comeback.
Okay. I would love for that to be the case. And yeah, that's about it for Born Again season 2. Not much on the table again. I'm literally looking at the trailer again right now, and it's like, yeah, we talked about everything. Chaos on the streets. Fuck ICE again. Daredevil combat looks amazing. By the way, I love the Daredevil combat.
Totally. Oh yeah, they always knock it out of the park with that. Majority of the time, there's a little shaky shit in Born Again season 1.
That was early. It's not great.
I am still baffled that we kind of just like dropped Muse instantly.
Wow. They butchered Muse. They butchered the White Tiger. What's his name? White Tiger, right?
I think the White Tiger storyline was interesting. We just, unfortunately can't get more out of the phenomenal actor.
His daughter could come back. That could be a thing.
Yeah, I think she absolutely will. Based on the, I remember seeing a version of that character in like Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, which also had a young version of Luke Cage, the older guys. But like, it is interesting to see like these dichotomy of characters come to fruition.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, that's it for Daredevil Born Again. That's coming out March 24th. I didn't put it in my show notes, but we do have another trailer for Invincible. Did you watch this Invincible season 4 trailer?
I did watch it.
I thought you were going to pull up an Invincible like background or something else. Like, do we have one?
Not yet. We will.
But we were going to be talking about that season. Sorry, you said you did watch it or you didn't watch it?
I watched the trailer. Yes, I'm okay. Caught up on the show, and I did watch the trailer.
So yeah, this is going to be coming out, I think, a week before Daredevil Born Again. It's going to be interesting. We see Thrag, who has been hyped up by a lot of comic fans of like this very menacing character, played by Liam Pace, who is always with a fantastic voice. Nice. But Thrag is coming in there. Seems to be the main antagonist. We see Nolan return. I cannot wait to see what his reunion with Debbie is going to be like in season 4. She better give a piece of her mind. But she also she's in a different place. We saw her last season, having her other boyfriend in the development of things. But then we see what's it called? Mark and Omni-Man work it out. So I'm curious to see how that reunion comes out. Hopefully it's well written.
Yeah, man, it's exciting to see how this is all coming to fruition. As we're getting closer to fighting the Viltrumites, which we now know they are. I mean, obviously they're like insanely powerful, but they are fewer numbers than you would expect, which is a fighting chance. But will we make it? I think the comics go past the conflict with the Viltrumites. I don't really know much about the comic too much. I know there is some interesting storylines of stuff. I wonder how will be depicted because some of them get very serious topic stuff. So we'll see how that gets adapted to the animation. and I don't think that's necessarily happening within this season. But I do look forward to seeing where this all sets up.
Yeah, I've only have like light spoilers on Invincible. I think I'm with you. I know that there's more to the story post the Ultramite War. The only other spoilers I know about is like the future between Mark and my homegirl. What's her name?
Eve.
Eve. Mark and Eve. Their relationship. I think I know some spoilers there, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eve, we do know that like her powers seem to be diminishing. I don't like this in my fictional stories. You know, it works well in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
worried about a spotlight character being benched.
exactly. It's like I don't want her to be bent because we saw how powerful she was against Homeboy in season 3. What was his name? That nearly died.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
As
like,
himself.
As himself. He got like atomized nearly by Eve going full, like unlocking her full potential. And that's like a very like those two together could take out some Viltrumites. But you know, if she's out of the picture, the Viltrumite war just seems even more precarious.
Yeah.
So that might be a reason why.
You telling me you didn't like Dark Phoenix when Quicksilver broke his leg?
Don't remind me.
What an insane move! Like taking one of the big fan favorites of the young cast, and being like, "All right, toss him," and don't have him tell Magneto he's related.
Oh God, that was so bad. So
sad.
But yeah, we see Oliver all grown up, Rugrats all grown up.
Shout out, good show.
I love that show. That was my shit. I used to come home from school, watch that shit every day, baby, in the trenches every day.
They're just like me,
right? Man, is that on Paramount Plus? All grown up.
I think it is. You ever think about that cartoon logic where you'll have like, this is a baby, and these are adults. They can't understand each other, but then there's that one character that can talk to both, and you wonder, can they be a translator if they ever decide?
Yeah, I do. So Oliver is going to be up there. Hopefully, he gets even stronger. He got his ass whooped by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh man, so brutal. There was
that was crazy.
This show really does just like the most like sickening animation and sound design sometimes.
Say so. Where are you? Say so.
That man, that was so good.
That was amazing. But speaking of CSO, Mark is really feeling the guilt because if he had just killed Langstrom or Angstrom Levy, the clones wouldn't have happened in the first place, which, you know, brought this city to its knees. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan came into town, nearly killed Mark himself and Eve. So it was a lot. He feels really guilty. So he's, of course, starting the season off with a lot of trauma, guilt, and pressure to, you know, constantly save the world. Debbie is telling him, like, you know, take a break, Mark. You need to take a break. That's what we see Oliver. We see more. We see a newer team. You know, unfortunately, we lost Rex. Wow. Uttering those words, which is just
I
crazy.
forgot. Man.
But we
now
do
he's
see
hassling Percy.
We see what?
Now he's hassling Percy.
Yeah. Shout out Mr. D. But what's it called? We see Monster Girl, but we need a new like team. We see it looks like one team comes like from the future, or at least one person comes from the future, or whatever. It just we see a new character come in here.
I also noticed that I think at least like early on, like post injuries, Mark has like I assume they're more like cast than replacement limbs, but he has like the same type of limbs that Robot has covering his.
Yeah, saw that as well. Curious about that as well. We see Mark fighting a dinosaur in this trailer. That was interesting. Some more alien shit. I
think we're hopping universes again, or
hopefully. I love that one. Not filler episode, but when he goes into like fight the world where that one guy who can't be killed. What's his name? Or whatever. He's like the leader of like their world, and he has to come in and like kill him.
Oh,
Which was
yeah.
cool.
It was the immortal, but it was like
Yeah,
it was the future.
it was a future. It was a dark future.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I'm just fast forwarding through the trailers. Yeah, like, you see one guy with a gun beginning like, coming into town. But yeah, I can't wait to see Omni Man and what's the guy played by Seth Rogen? What's his name?
Alan.
Alan. I can't wait to see more Alan. Uh, oh, Denai Guerrera. I'm watching this alien character
Ooh.
with like this green alien with like a spear or whatever. I remember hearing that she is voiced by Denai Guerrera.
More Walking Dead people and Robert Kirkman stuff.
I'm shocked, right?
Mhm.
But she clashes with Eve. We see Homegirl who beat up Mark in season 2. That one Viltrumite with the whole
Oh,
when she touched Amber, that was wild.
yeah. There's some intense storyline stuff with her coming, which is what I was talking about with like I wonder
Okay,
how things will be adapted.
okay, cool. Battle Beast, my boy, is back.
Hey, he just
Battle
wants
Beast is
blood.
here. He just wants blood. He just wants to box. Can you blame him? And then the
The
last
living
half of the trailer
manifestation of rage.
of rage. The last half of the trailer just pure boxing. Yeah, in the last shot we see Battle Beast, Omni Man, Oliver, Mark, Alan, and the guy who was voiced by Optimus Prime. He's
Yeah,
boxing too.
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen, his character. Like the war is beginning, and then Thrag's here. A lot of intergalactic stuff in this season. It looks like a lot of
Yeah,
galaxy shit. So
I think like yeah, that's going to be like a heavy thing as well. I think Invincible gets pretty like sci-fi heavy, like almost like Star Trek-y in some eras of the issues.
I love that. I really do. Every time it's like every year it rolls around Invincible, and I'm like, I need to read this graphic novel. Like I really need to get into it.
Yeah.
I never do. I don't think I'm ever going to read The Boys. That's just not my kind of thing. But like,
No, because that's like way like more
yeah,
like awful, like mean spirited, and like they really had to distill and like refine that source material to make it enjoyable for television.
exactly. Moving on to some other movie news. It was not confirmed, but heavily reported that Batman Brave and the Bold
Hey,
has a writer, and I have a rant. So not for what people might be thinking. So it was reported by I think Jeffrey Snyder, and then reported by some Hollywood reporter, Christina Hodgson. Hodgson. I want to get the name right. Christina. I'm gonna get this, guys. I'm gonna get this. Christina Hodgson. There we go. She wrote the screenplay for The Flash, everybody's favorite comic book movie, and
Soul Rider.
Birds of Prey. This is where my rant comes in, Nathan. So this comes out where this is amidst Batman Part 2 Matt Reeves news, which is like hitting it out of the park in terms of like casting, and Matt is writing and directing that movie. People have a lot of faith in the Batman Part 2, 100% faith in that movie. The Batman Brave and the Bold, not so much. First off, they were pissed off about Andy Muschietti because he directed The Flash. He's a terrible director.
Let the record show we praise the hell out of It Welcome to Derry, and we can clearly see how stepped up Andy has evolved as a filmmaker.
Not only that, right? Like that's 100% the case. Like Welcome to Derry came out, and people were like, "Wait, Andy has juice? Andy has sauce?" I'm like, you guys need. This is where the rant comes in. You guys, and I don't like The Flash. I think it's a bad movie. But like, people have to realize that movie is an abnormality. That movie was in production for how long, Nathan? Like what? 6 years, maybe even more, in terms of like writers coming on, directors coming on board, chaos.
Even if you're like going from the idea of like, hey, Warner Brothers wants to make a Flash movie, that can go all the way back to even like pre-DCEU, if we're like really tracking things.
Yeah, it was chaos constantly. Rick Famuyiwa was on board. Even when I look up the story, like the screenplay is by Christina Hodson, but the story by the writing team is John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein, Joby Harold, like 3 motherfuckers over here writing this writing team. Christina Hodson has like the screenplay credit, so she gets the blame there. But
Yeah.
again, most of the time for Hollywood, the screenplay it's mostly the direction, not the screenplay.
Yeah.
Because screenplay can go through how much bullshit constantly in movies.
And you,
I always say this, like
yeah.
writers have more onus when it comes to television. That's why people talk
Mhm.
about like showrunners who write the shows than like the directors. Like who knows who directed Breaking Bad episode 6? They don't know. They know Vince Gilligan wrote all that shit, right? Like
Mhm.
you know, like the writers really are the ones that matter. Um, Movies are a different story. But anyways, it's like The Flash was just an abnormality. We know Andy is a way better director than that. We saw it chapter 1. We saw
Yeah.
Welcome to Derry. And then writer wise, we saw Christina Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee, who was in charge of that. People want to shit on Bumblebee now or something? Are we there yet? Like, come on.
No.
And then what's it called? She wrote Bumblebee, and she wrote what's it called? Birds of Prey, which was
Yeah.
mostly beloved. You know, some people have some criticisms about like the portrayal of certain characters, of like Cassandra or whatever. I still had fun with that movie, knowing for what it was,
Yeah.
especially in that post, like not Zack Snyder, but still in that universe, kind of weird, kind of setting it was in. Like it was a really
Yeah.
fun, standalone, goofy movie. I really liked it. And
Totally.
she's been on the writing team for James Gunn's universe from the jump. And this is like a big onus here, writing Brave and the Bold. And James Gunn came out on Twitter to defend her. I wonder if I bookmarked it. Where he says, he said, this is James Gunn on, you know, whatever. I will only say anyone maligning Christina Hodgson's screenwriting skills has almost certainly never read an actual screenplay by Christina Hodgson. She's one of the writers who was with us very early in the DCU planning stages. I don't think you can judge my writing based on films others directed, as massive liberties are sometimes taken. And yeah, I think that's always the case. Like she didn't direct the movie. We know Annie directed it, but even then, we know Warner Brothers cut the shit out of that Flash movie. Like, you know, like
Yeah, they had to like pull
ridiculous.
7 different directions through production, just because they had like so many different variables, right? They're like, oh, we're gonna reset the whole universe and start over from scratch, but also maybe we're just gonna can it here, and like, oh, we're gonna follow. We can't use Ben. He doesn't want to do it. Oh, Ben is back. We'll do a little bit of stuff, but let's do Michael Keaton. We're gonna throw in Batgirl, but we're gonna show Batgirl, and then all this shit.
It's crazy. So like again, I have faith that Andy is a way better talent. He still like wouldn't be like my favorite choice to direct the Flash, but I'm not
Yeah.
hating on the choice, or I'm not as nervous as I was post It Welcome to Derry. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm not the biggest fan of It Chapter 2 either, but I see the onus. I see, like, especially watching the behind the scenes, he is a very intelligent, very like, you know,
Yeah.
committed guy.
I think we talked about it before, but I think what most likely was the situation behind the scenes was that Andy was a guy who can play ball, and he was like, "Look, I know you guys have been like mess with this for a while. I can bring my own type of vision to this if I wanted, but I'm honestly like just happy to like get you guys to the finish line as best I can." And I think James saw it and was like, he's a guy who's like respectable, and I know he can make good shit, and I think that's why they gave him Batman. And I think once again, after watching something like It Welcome to Derry, has just cemented the idea of like, oh yeah, like when he really gets to like lock into the expanse of something, it's pretty beautiful to see. So it gives me even more confidence in him going into something like this.
And same thing for Christina. I really like Birds of Prey. The Flash is not indicative of what she has to offer at
Sure.
all. So I'm very curious. But just getting off of Birds of Prey and even like Bumblebee, you can really see the tone that they're going for the Flash, given her past credits, like very light tone, you know, emotional turn.
Yeah.
Given like not Bumblebee, Haley Steinfeld's arc in that movie, and then everything going on there. So I'm very happy to see Christina on board. She's a very talented writer. And I think she just fits the warmer kind of tone might be going here for the Batman. We know this isn't going to be like a Matt Reeves kind of Batman. This has to be has to set itself apart. We know, they're most likely not getting Robert Pattinson. So they're just, it has to set itself apart from Matt Reeves' Batman movies. It has to be more lighter, more goofier. Again, not like Superman levels, but more of those like, I forget, I don't know what era of the Batman comics, but guys, like,
I think
more of a lighter tone.
I think it's going to be like, you can see this Batman will be somebody who can do the ridiculous stuff where like there's a giant penny in the Batcave. Well, what the hell is that from? But also, I think it's just going to be like a more of a factor of you can have all this ridiculous stuff going on around Batman, but Batman is the straight man in the funny bits, which I think will just add to the more appeal. And that's often is like a thing. Like whenever you watch like the like Justice League cartoons or what have you, like people are, especially Flash would be like joking around a lot, or Green Lantern, and then you just have Batman there, stoic as hell, not getting a joke or just like not laughing at it, and it makes the scene funnier because you can't crack him. And in the rare case you get like a chuckle from him, it's like holy shit, what a great moment.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, the Justice League really was a blueprint for all that great stuff. And the most importantly, he's going to be once again in charge of at least a Robin. We don't know if it's confirmed. James said it's Damian. We don't know if the story has changed, but if it is Damian Wayne, like he's still in charge of a Robin. So like that fatherhood angle is something we've never seen before. Robin on the big screen is something we haven't seen before since the 90s. So I'm curious to see how that goes. That's going to be a big tone setter as well. But we talked about Welcome to Derry. Season 2 is officially in the works now. It was heavily implied that we'll be getting a season 2 given the way season 1 ended. You said like chapter 1, right? So we are officially getting it. Welcome to Derry season 2. And this just goes to show how massive of a franchise it is. The numbers they pulled in that finale was crazy. I think like the biggest finale numbers since like Last of Us season 1 finale, House of the Dragon season 1 finale. Like this is like outside of Last of Us, Game of Thrones level shit. Like Welcome to Derry has become the next big franchise for HBO, which is very exciting. Because season 1 really surprised me. I thought it was going to be a fun horror show, and it became one of the best shows of the year.
I didn't expect it to be as expansive as it was, as emotionally rich, and the level of stakes as well, and the fact that they introduce story properties that let you play with the overall canon of the franchise, that they truly can do literally anything, and you will not see it coming.
You will never see me coming. You're
Shout
exactly. Shout out Trevor, who's great in Wonder Man. But yeah, you're right. You're right. 100%. Like the characters were very surprising. What they did with Pennywise is still like some of my favorite TV moments of the year were in that show with the Pennywise portrayal. It was just so good. So I can't wait for season 2. My guess is a fall 2027 release. I don't think we'll get anything this year, but it seemed to be one of those shows which is so VFX heavy. I think it'll be one of those every other year type shows, like your House of the Dragon, like your Last of Us. So we'll get Last of Us season 3 next year. Hopefully that's the last season. I still don't know how they're going to divide that shit up. Anyways, Last of Us season 3, and I think we'll get Welcome to Derry season 2 next year as well. I can't wait. I think this year though we could be getting the cast. That's going to be interesting. I think the casting is going to be revealed in 2026. So we'll see what the cast is going to be shaping up as. We'll be breaking down all those news on this podcast. Besides that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Marvel rumors I talked about before the stream here. Ryan Reynolds working on a new Deadpool movie. That wasn't Daniel RPK. That was from Puck News, which makes it even more reliable. But yeah, I can see a Deadpool movie coming in the mutant saga. Deadpool is not like an organic mutant, but what's it called? I can see a Deadpool movie happening in the next phase for sure. Right.
Yeah, I think I had there been, I think I even just saw recently, but there has like been rumor about the idea of them doing not only like more focus on the mutants in general for the next saga coming up, but also the idea of exploring an X-Force movie, which is some word I was also hearing, and I think even Ryan Reynolds, for his like personal appeal of wanting to come back, I think he said it would be something like that as opposed to just the standalone Deadpool 4. So I could see that all coming together.
I think I honestly would kind of like a standalone Deadpool movie again. For the last two movies, we saw him teaming up with Cable, and then teaming up with Logan, and now he wants to do X Force. I get it; it is very appealing to be with that crowd. Deadpool like ripping off different individuals, but I kind of liked call me basic, but I liked the tone from the movie one, and just him going on his own adventure. Yes, you had Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and you had Colossus. But I kind of liked him with as little amount of characters as possible for me. But again, he's in the MCU now, so I know the appeal is there. Where the playground is now infinitely larger.
What MCU character would you be the most intrigued to see him run into?
X-23. I would love to see that.
Didn't we do that? We did that.
Kind of. It was mostly him and Wolverine, and she was kind of there. But
they were all in the cave. We saw Blade walk in. We saw Gambit walk in.
Besides that, I don't know. Some members of the new X-Men could be fun. I mean, like, I don't know what other Marvel character would be fun to have him with. I don't know. Like, which one can match his style?
She-Hulk. In a way.
In a way, yeah.
I had there was a seeing a report rumor that Wong may make an appearance in Avengers Doomsday, and there's also been a recent photo of Benedict Wong and Xochitl Gomez together, and Benedict has that Wong facial hair. He's wearing like a lot of like weather, warm or cold weather like coats and whatnot around, but you could see like the facial haircut. I'm like, oh, it's Wong. So
are we on
them
Wong?
together. Wong watch,
Wong beard watch. That's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta watch those specific things. You know, you look if you see it on Benedict Cumberbatch or Robert Downey Jr., you know who they are.
You know who they are. That's really true. It was funny, like Chris Evans being so built at a recent press conference. They're like, we knew he was Captain America when he came in so built for a movie last year. It was very funny. Yeah, I think he was doing like press for the material list over the summer, and he comes in like wearing a tight t-shirt, all buff. Like, oh, he's filming some shit for Doomsday, isn't he, over the summer?
You watch it, you're just like scrolling something to watch, and you're like, oh, let's watch Honey Don't. And like, why are you swole?
Yeah, right. What? Also, I mentioned the off stream, but the Scarlet Witch solo movie is not announced, but rumored again. We've had this rumor for the past couple phases now. But it does make the most sense being in this phase post WandaVision, post House of Harkness, post Vision Quest from later this year, post the whole mutant saga. Like after her whole like miniseries arc on the TV side, having her finally return in the next phase full of mutants could be very interesting. Could be very interesting. I could see it working out, and maybe she could be with her family in that movie. Maybe not. Whenever.
Yeah. I would definitely like to see a reunion of the Maximoffs.
It could run to this thing though. It's like who is Billy again? Like who is these two adult characters? Last time people saw them on the movie screens was in Doctor Strange 2 when they were kids. So it could run to the Marvel's box office scenario. Like audiences might not be interested if they don't know who said Disney Plus character is in this movie. But
that is true, but I think you could probably also like the general audiences would probably just assume like, oh, time jump, they grew. I don't know.
True. Yeah, it's easy.
They could definitely do that.
I have a rumor from Daniel RPK that Thanos will appear in Secret Wars.
Yeah, I heard that's definitely one of the ones I saw floating around. I believe that. I don't know to what capacity. Like, I always presumed by the time Doom gets the God Emperor level power, like in the comics, he's going to do the spine rip in the comics.
That'd be amazing. Can you do a spine rip on PG-13?
Yes, I think even though Thanos is an alien, yeah, I think that helps, but also that could still be graphic as hell. So I think it's all about the framing. I was actually just like re-looking at the panels themselves, and you don't see the removal from skin on frame. No. It's more like you like guts him, and then you like the body's like falling to the floor, and he has the spine out. So you can get creative with that. Yeah, you could literally just be like a punch in, and then the camera can whip along with the spine. You can get creator. You can get Sam Raimi camera levels with that.
What else? What else? I mean, that's all the rumors I had, unless you have something else.
Yeah, that's all the rumors I had too. But I did have an interesting time this past week. I caught up on quite a bit of films.
Oh,
I
go
thought
ahead.
that'd be interesting to discuss really quickly. So I was dog sitting this past weekend, and they had quite the library of films on their catalog, and I was catching up on some things. So first off, I had to rewatch Predator Badlands. Still holds up. What a blast! My God,
Rocks. Love the movie.
rocks, so good. And then I got to check out the indie film Good Boy, the horror film about the dog's perspective.
Oh, how was that? I never saw that. Yeah.
It's really good. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes, very short.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a phenomenal job at capturing the perspective of the dog. And I had found this out afterward. They filmed it over the span of like 4 years, getting this dog's performance and getting everything filmed. And you
That's
cannot tell the dog has
crazy.
aged a day. You cannot tell. It is seamless. It looks so good. And you definitely like already like have that emotional hook. Like you want this dog to like make it through, but they do such a good job at. There'll be moments where like the dog has like a specific like eye shift between things and back, and you're like, how the fuck are they getting this dog to do fucking facial acting? It's amazing. Like give him an award, nominate him. I think he
What?
got an award.
Yeah,
But
he won like best supporting something at Hollywood. It was weird. But yeah.
yeah, man. But it was a phenomenal time. I had finally seen Weapons.
Oh yeah, I saw you. Your review was like, how did this not get a Best Picture nomination?
I would nom it because I was so hooked, so on edge. I love the different perspective storytelling. I love the slow burn reveals of like these different things that all culminate in what's really going on. The hook of the mystery with the children disappearing is already so engrossing. And I think like it's just a powerhouse of a cast. I forgot if I heard before that Alden Ehrenreich is in this,
Oh, you
and he does a
forgot.
great job in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I even heard at all, because I think my focus was on Jennifer Garner, or what's her name? No,
Julia Garner.
Julie Garner, and Josh Brolin was my main focus going in. That I had forgot about everybody else, but it was so great just seeing all these perspectives, and then our main antagonist Gladys was very
Whew.
insane, like a hell of a performance. And then it got to a point where I'm seeing the perspective of the kid, and I feel so bad.
That's when I stood up because the whole movie, I'm waiting to get the perspective from the kid, and finally when it happened, I'm like, oh wait, here we go. And his perspective, the whole fork scene was crazy.
Yeah,
And the way he locks in that final third act was awesome. And yeah, that whole ending sequence with the running was flat out hilarious. So good.
Oh, dude, I was bouncing off the walls with kinetic energy. That was so good. I remember I told you that like I heard in the marketing they were saying like this is a true story, and then you told me no, it's not before I saw it, and I almost wish you hadn't, because Evan, if I still thought while watching this was a true story, I would have fucking punched a hole in the wall. I'm like, what do you mean they tore her apart? Like,
The true story about her, a witch with sticks and mind control and shit.
I buy it. I watch Ghost Hunting.
I'll box the shit out of Aunt Gladys, but we're gonna the box.
God, someone stop her. It was so terrifying. That power is scary.
It was the whole Benedict Wong sequence was wild. With him and his husband.
Yeah, that was so intense. Just great stuff all around. I can't sing the praises of it enough. It ended up becoming my third favorite of the year until I watched something else.
What the fuck did you watch? Whoa.
It's all preference, but like some other stuff I also watched. I ended up seeing In a Violent Nature, which came out in 2024. That was the perspective of a slasher villain. Yeah. Which I thought was like a fun little experiment type film. I don't think it's like something that you can continuously do, but I think it's an interesting take on the thing, because it truly does feel like, while all like the emotional development, editing, and like musical suspense that you would see in your normal like Nightmare on Elm Streets or Friday the 13th or what have you are going on, really feel like you're literally on that outside perspective on the in betweens, just leading to the next thing. And I thought that was a very interesting perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid. I had a fun time with it. And then the following day, I saw The Long Walk.
Oh, now is this the one that was in your top?
Yes,
Okay,
this,
that makes a lot of sense.
this took it right after. I think it's just the factor that we have like the premise and we stick there the whole time
Yeah.
that gives me so much more time to engross and develop in it. There's like very rare cutaways, and when they are, they're specifically serving the character that's right in front of your face right now, and just getting attached and like at first you're watching how people are dropping off like bit by bit, and you're like, oh man, like of course that gets you, and like I didn't even consider this thing, like, oh yeah, what if you do have to fucking shit, my god, this is terrible. uh and then they just like the emotional depths just keep going. Like I really felt like the bonding of the groups were so natural, and that when you were losing one piece of the group bit by bit, it all hurt so much. I forgot this was directed by Francis Lawrence. He did phenomenal with this.
Great shit. Great shit. Yeah. It's a
Um,
great
yeah,
movie. The way you stick with the characters, their relationships, the way the setting itself is putting pressure on the kids and everything like that, on top of learning more about their families and like their connection there, or lack
yeah.
thereof. Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal ending too. Great performances all
Oh,
around.
so good. I already am such a fan of Cooper Hoffman in a lot
Hmm.
of stuff, and this was no different. He was phenomenal here, but like I love David Johnson as an actor so much, man. He like I was already like so attached with his vulnerability in Romulus before, but seeing this, he is just so kinetic with his performance. Like he's so engaging. I'm like, that's a star, damn it.
Yeah, David Johnson is winning an Oscar in the next decade. He is just that good. He's excellent.
Truly. Yeah, and like you said, that final scene is so good. How I feel about Rain, Evan. That was like to the T my favorite thing with amber lighting on cobblestone. That
Woo!
is my aesthetic. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that became my number three. And then like one of the last big things I ended up finally seeing, because it was a blind spot for me with Shyamalan, was Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, what'd you think?
Yeah. I had a delightful time with that because not really like watching for a twist necessarily, but just like whether or not these actions are true or not, or if it's a hoax, this end of the world business, and how each decision is causing the plagues to unfold. I think it was very engaging from that perspective, and I think all the performances were so great. I think Dave Bautista really brings a soft
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability to it, which is very great. I love the main couple and the daughter. The daughter was I can tell like the actress is so young, but she is so committed to the different range of performance, whether it's like a child's immaturity or like a very sophisticated spokenness. Very, very well done.
She was excellent. I didn't love the movie. I think it went, I don't know, it just
Mm,
didn't engage with me by the end. But the start was very interesting. Dave Batista was great. It was a very wordy movie compared to Shyamalan's other, like, I think his tendencies work in a more
mm.
different sense. Um, but it was still, yeah, it's still pretty engaging at the start. And yeah, Dave Batista, man, he has the goods. He was really, 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 really good here. Probably his best
Yeah,
performance.
totally. And then I haven't been able to finish it. I got cut off, but I started watching Heretic, and I'm gonna restart it when I get a chance. But I was really engaged with what I was seeing so far.
A weirdo. Yeah, Hugo, not Hugo. Hugh Grant is
Hugh Grant.
excellent in that movie. Um,
Yeah, literally only got to the part where they realized the door was locked.
yeah, like, hey, buddy, uh,
Oh,
what's happening here? Hugh Grant
that
is
really is a
really good.
that really is a great reveal though when she turns the candle around and it says blueberry pie and you realize there isn't one baking. Like that's really good.
It's just good. I loved Heretic. That was a good
Yeah.
one. That was a good one. But yeah, I'm glad you saw some movie. I saw jack shit from movies this weekend. I meant to watch this anime on Netflix
Mhm.
Monday and then Tuesday, and then today, but I've been slacking.
Mm.
But yeah, that's about it. I got to go watch some TV. I'm glad you watched a lot of movies though. And that's it. Are you
Yeah,
gonna, are
man.
you gonna keep on house sitting? So
I am, yeah. I'm going back to that same house this weekend, so I'm going to be catching on. It's a very cool library. Like they have the Fandango library, like I do, but like a lot of it was horror, and I was like, dope. Let me lock in.
nice. You got
And
you
they got
in the
they got a
jackpot.
fucking sound system too, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And also Final Reckoning sitting there, and I'm like, tempting.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Harris EV9, talking all things Star Wars, Marvel, Invincible. We have a lot of shit coming out in March and spring, and it's gonna get crazier. So yeah, catch me on Twitter, Harris EV9.
Yeah. You can catch me at _Time Blazer, making a show called Time Blazer with co-star and creative consultant Evan Harris.
Playing Ben, who I think would fit well in Daredevil season 2. I think I'll be the strongest person there. Fuck you, Daredevil. Let's box. Not you, Jessica, because you rock.
I think that's true. I think that is objective. Like you're like the Electro of that universe. So like, yeah, absolutely, you would.
You see Electro lose to Daredevil?
No, not a chance. You can't dodge a fucking lightning strike like that. Well, you probably could, but like
you probably could. Yeah, it would do some bullshit.
Yeah. But also, yeah, tune in next time for tea because we will be covering all of Wonder Man because it's all available now. So that'll be our next thing. So yeah, with that being said, if you enjoyed this, make sure to like button, subscribe now, already, ring the bell. So it's coverage on all things movie and TV. And that being said, hope you have a great day. Catch you guys next time.